really an understanding vibration and tapping into it either from a spiritual sense or from my buddy Einstein. You know, energy is neither created nor destroyed. I am a vibration in this greater thing of the universe. We don't worry about what anyone else is doing. We follow our hearts and our passions. Life really opens up for us. It becomes our playground, and it becomes a playground that's really beautiful, that everything and anything is possible.
But I wouldn't have it any other way. You guys have a lot of personality. Spunk. Energy. What we will call it is energy. They have a lot of energy. So as you can see, we have like children.
I see a world where in the future, kids are born into this planet and they're free to express. They're free to like create things and do things and just find out about themselves and who they are with zero judgment on what anyone else is doing. Understanding that it's all part of expansion. It's all part of expansion.
Oh, we always family hug like this.
Yeah.
Oh, from everyone else?
Yeah. Team, why are you blocking us? Because I am.
It is. It's on the real list. With all the dinner ingredients.
Did you cut your own hair and now you're embarrassed?
No.
Yeah.
People don't go through and
That will get us to the finish line, if that.
Then we're gonna go into slide 50. People used to say to me, I love your energy, Jan, I love your energy. And I really thought it was because I was bubbly. I was outgoing and I liked people. And now that I discover and I learn more, that's not what they were talking about. Whether they knew it or not. The energy that they were talking about was how I saw them, how I viewed them.
This girl is massively brilliant. Like, it's so wild. Like, I can express certain things and she puts it all together. And that's why all you have to do is choose and focus on what it is that you want to do, and then literally surround yourself with people that are smarter than you in every area.
They're so supportive, and they really want me to do what it is that I love. They're always asking me, they're checking in to make sure that I'm really happy doing, the things that I'm enjoying. They want me to feel like work is not work that we think. It's, it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be having a good time, enjoying what you're doing.
It starts off with my main man, one of my amazing mentors and coaches, Brian Del Maso, that I'm just so grateful to have met him and see what he's created. An amazing story I love to share is that Brian had an opportunity to close on this house much quicker than we were going through the process. And it got bumpy, and we just said, you know what, we can't do this to him. That would have been awesome to live there, but we're gonna let the whole thing go because we appreciate what he had done for us, and we just said, listen, path of least resistance for you is us pulling away and you going this way. And Brian shook his head and very calmly said, okay guys, I appreciate that. He said, I have one question for you. And we said, what is that? He said, do you want to buy my house? And we said, of course we do. And he said, then that's it. He goes, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what has to happen. This is something you want. I really want you to have this house. I envision my family being here and my friends here. It didn't work out that way, and I'm so excited that you and Yun will bring your kids in there and really breathe a fresh breath of family into this house. Because Brian was here in this house, and there's lots of space, but he was never here, so he didn't really get to enjoy it. The director of the Sword Household.
So my name is Michaela Moore, and I'm the director of households. The joke is I came with the house.
Oh, Michaela's awesome. So Michaela came in, again, from the universe. I asked a network of people that I was looking for someone to help with the family, but I also wanted somebody that could help with the house and organize and cook and whatnot. And Valerie connected me with Michaela, and I interviewed Michaela, and I said, how do you do your grocery shopping?
But yeah, they're just continually busy people with so much going on and so many businesses. I don't know many people who do as much as what they do.
She said, I make a list. She said, nope. First, I find out what meals I want to cook. Then I put all the ingredients in order as to where they show up in the grocery store. Then I make a list, right, like of the list. Then I go through the grocery store, and then I come back, I clean everything, I prep it, and I put it in the refrigerator. I said, all right, she is sold. I just need to talk to her, see if I like her, you know, how she is with the kids, and then she is absolutely beautiful.
They think this month's our 2-year anniversary of my employment.
Like, the biggest thing, she cares.
I definitely tell them what a positive work environment is, because it's really continually positive. It's other people's jobs, they're like, got yelled at, or I hate one of my coworkers. I'm like, can't relate. So, they even bought me a kayak. It's so cute. I was so excited. I was at dinner with my friends, and all of a sudden they texted me like, we bought you a kayak. And I was like, no way. And they sent a photo, it's blue, my favorite color. And I was sitting like at a birthday dinner with their friends and like, look at my new kayak. They bought so I can kayak with them at work. And they're like, they got a kayak so you can kayak with them? I'm like, yes. It's pretty awesome.
This is just fun. I said everyone on this lake is just having a good time and just in a high vibration and just loving life. You know, I've gotten over the idea of, do I deserve this? Am I worth this? And yeah, I deserve it. I'm worth it. This is something that I wanted, so of course we put the energy into it. And I didn't realize how much I love boats. I've been on them, but as far as driving them and driving them fast. Let's see if we can get it moving a little bit. Every time I talk about myself now, I always chuckle because who I am today is completely different from who I was, you know, of course, a couple weeks ago, but a couple months ago, a couple years ago. And if you had said, like, if I had said to my, you know, if I came back in time and said, Matt, like, you're gonna meditate and you're gonna wear like crystals and stuff like that, I'd be like, what are you talking about? I became really, really angry. And I used that, you know, you talk about auto-suggestion. I laugh now because there used to be a Rage Against the Machine song, and the chorus was anger as a gift. So my life for a long time was about destruction and pain and anger. And that's why, like, if you went and interviewed a lot of people that I went to high school, like the name Matt Swerk would resonate in a really negative way with a lot of people for what I was. And I released a lot of that through college. Now I look at it as far as a major transformation, because when I look at my gifts and my superpowers, my heart is really one of them, and my ability as far as unconditional love. I've transformed multiple times. I went through a negative transformation. When I came out of college, I was involved with all these leadership positions, and through college, you know, I was president of my fraternity, or I was on the fire department, where I was an EMT firefighter. I was president of the student council, president of the programming board. And I came out of college, I worked with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, where I did really well. I brought the distressed branch in to become a cash cow. I had all these positions, and then when I met Yun through my sales company, we opened up the dry cleaners together. I literally auto-suggested myself from being a high performer into a laborer, and there's nothing wrong with that, except I had always been in a position of leadership. And by always joking around with people and saying, like, yeah, I'm Yun's indentured servant, I'm just the guy that takes out the stains, I'm just the guy that presses the pants, I'm just a low-wage laborer, I brought my mentality from here down to here. And that set off a whole series of events as far as me settling in life, where I had achieved my goals of wanting to own a home, wanting to have a successful marriage, wanting to be a good husband, wanting to have kids, be a good dad. All those things I had accomplished, and because I knocked my mindset down to, you know, a very low settling point, I would say, I kind of gave up on life and I wasn't really doing anything.
My husband is an amazing, amazing person. He's got such character, such heart, a genuineness about him. But he also gives me the strength to allow me to do whatever I want to do. Because if I know that he's got my back, I have nothing to worry about. My mother was pregnant with her second child, which was me. And during the second pregnancy, towards the end of her pregnancy, she was having complications. Her blood pressure was through the roof. So when she went to go deliver me, she had a complicated delivery. And when I was born, the doctors handed me to my mother and said, "You're gonna take her home and watch her die. She's not gonna make it." And that's how my story began. My memories of Korea was me very, very weak, very sick. I was going into random buildings to get IV shots so I could breathe. I couldn't breathe. I had very, very severe asthma, but there was no medication. There was no treatments for me, anyways, that my parents could afford. And I was really sick, and my mother and my father, they had no money. So they went to the people that they can, and they couldn't afford like really expensive doctors. So the people that they were referred to were like just, you know, average doctors or whatnot. And a lot of times they went to psychic doctors or witch doctors, anybody that would give my mother hope. So she brought me around to a lot of energy people, you would call it these days, right? There was a tumor growing inside of me, and the tumor kept growing. My mom didn't know what to do. She finally found somebody that was willing to do the work and take the tumor out. The hospital no longer exists, the doctor no longer exists. But I had a scar on my body that literally haunted me my entire growing childhood life. I was told at 4 years old, but we came when I was 6 years old, that we were coming to America for a free country. Not really knowing what that meant or the impact that it had. And now it has such a deeper meaning for me. Because it's not just about being free, if you will, it's being spiritual free. It's being let go of those invisible prison bars that I was locked up in that I didn't even know. I get here when I was 6 years old. I go through the school system. I'm still very, very sick. I adapted pretty well. I learned the American language very quickly. Like, my mother thought that I was actually not smart. Like, she's like, "I think my daughter's stupid. I don't think she can actually retain any information, but all I want is for her to be healthy," right? Well, I was really sick and I wasn't meant to be in Korea. I could not pick up the Korean language, but I came to America and I probably learned the English language within 6 to 9 months, my first year. Everything just came. My health started to get better. I got into some stuff with, emotional stuff, and there's so many emotional things along the way, but everything developed me into the person that I am today.
Yun was brought into my life, and we both agree on this, that she was brought in to help heal some generational trauma and to have our family stop living in this pattern that has been brought up over and over and over again.
Ooh, my husband is unconditional love. Amazing. And now he's starting to release it and show more, and you can feel his expansion happening. And for me as an observer, there's nothing that makes me more excited.
Ready? Stand tall. My identity was my accomplishments. So who am I now? I'm someone that is a person that has an open mind, a person that has an open heart, a person that comes from curiosity. Before I got married, meeting Yun's family, that was a whole nother ballgame because she's from Korea and I'm here from America. And there's very different cultural aspects and different levels as far as traditions and respect. And, I really won over her parents with my work ethic. My work ethic and my interest in the culture.
Then Matt and I create a family. And we're very blessed to have 2 amazing, beautiful daughters. And they're polar opposites.
I am just I'm so proud of them, and I know that every parent thinks that they have the most amazing kids in the world. However, we have 2 kids that are, again, like every other family, complete polar opposites. Keeps things really, really interesting, and it's just so much fun to be around them.
It's 1 o'clock up towards the water, there's weeds. Those are what you're supposed to be taking out of there.
What?
That's what you get paid to do. Take those out and clean up the gunk. It's not just cleaning up the gunk, it's taking those weeds out.
I am very biased, but I love our family. I love the ebb and flow of it. I love watching the girls' relationship with each other. I love how they're pushing each other to be more expansive. I love watching them discover more things.
A long time ago, when Yun was first pregnant, when we owned the dry cleaning business, we hired someone for the first time. It was a high school student, and she said, "What do you want your daughter to be?" And I said, "What?" And she said, "Yeah, do you want her to be a doctor, a lawyer? Like, what do you want?" And I said, "You know what I want? I want my daughter to be happy, and I want her to be a contributing member to society." And that's what we focus on, and just integrity, honesty, spirituality, doing the right thing. That's the core of everything that we do. But that's one of the greatest gifts I've ever, given myself is the relationship with the kids, and just to continue to foster that. I am now, especially with being 13 and 10. We look at like how many summers do we have left with them, and Yudi is having friends now. Well, she's always had friends, but wanting to go out with her friends and spend more time with her friends. I used a life script, after Yun had created one, around the kids and the family, and I used a life script to create the relationship that I have with them now. And I'm really, 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 really grateful and so blessed to be able to have open conversations with them. When I'm able to see it through someone else's eyes and not judge them and understand that what they're seeing could be right and my way could be right as well, and being open to the different possibilities, that has been really rocket fuel for me to excel in my mindset and my belief system. We're always looking at things or attempting to look through the things of a positive lens, and we know contrast is going to show up, and there's going to be some things that are negative. We're going to say some negative things. We're going to have negative feelings, and it's about being able to bounce off of that as fast as possible and change that, so that we always stay in a direction of what is it that we want. And we want to be in a positive mindset. We want to be in a higher vibration as much as we possibly can, which I know is weird for the kids sometimes because other parents don't talk like that. I know that for a fact. So,
if we incorporated more love into ourselves and we incorporated more love into others, understanding that the reason why the adversity exists, the reason why variety exists, is because we're all part of the expansion process. So if we can really allow people to look at through that in that perspective lens, then I believe that people will just be born into this world with no fear, but a zest for life, a zest to find out what their true passion is.
And I think it's a beautiful thing, and it's something I think we all should strive to continuously grow. We know physiologically we're completely different from when we got on this boat, because cells are changing, things are happening. Maybe I lost another piece of hair or it disappeared, who knows?
Right? We were actually born fully complete. Everything that we need is already inside of us. It's not shoving us into a square. It's not putting us through a program. It's literally creating the environments for allowing that individual to express. We as humans have been programmed under lack and fear for so long, that it's programmed for us to not like someone else because they think differently, or not, get offended because someone doesn't think of it. No. When people can really learn and understand that your entire reality is an expression of your inner world, and you can all you have to do is focus on love and love on yourself, and then all of a sudden you start attracting people that love you too.